What's making you feel a bit depressed right now? Best of Reddit. Daily new uploads. Subscribe and like for more. Just do it. That I am more comfortable talking about my problems with a wall of random stranger than I am about going to my friends and family. Recently I ran into a major personal issue with my relationship. I was ashamed, confused and more than a little scared. I reached out on Reddit and found care and support. Also a surprising lack of judgment. I didn't want to be judged by the people in my real life, have them know about my shame forever. Although, after talking on the internet, I did reach out to a trusted friend and family member. I am honestly thankful that I can talk to strangers when I would not be willing to reach out to people in my life. Where did you reach out? I'm floundering right now and don't know what to do with myself. Don't forget to leave your comment. I am here if you ever need to talk. Just PM. I brought my issue to our relationships and our abuse, because those were related to my issue. But there are a lot of wholesome and supportive communities on Reddit, where you can just talk. How was today is a nice one. That's me. This comment is literally me. I'm lonely. I have been pretty lonely as well. I know the feeling, and I am even around others quite often. I think for me it is more feeling understood and comforted. Though it feels like you are alone and things are hopeless, I assure you that at the very least you are not alone in what you feel, and I believe that we can get through this. Hey, you two should kiss. Think you're looking for the verse up. Came here to say the same. Shy also, and don't want to burden anyone by talking to them. Do you sometimes have the tough I'm not worth their time or along these lines? One thing my therapist made me do is a list titled nice things about myself. Would you like and try it? There's no right, wrong or too small answer. Is there something you're good at? What nice things have you done for someone in your life? What can you cook well? Do you play an instrument? Are you good at some games? What trivia do you know? I know many LOTR quotes. I have good ears. I have little gnomes in my ears telling me the name of the notes I hear. I made a casserole when my friend broke his leg. Anyways, take care of yourself. Same here. My best friend of like 5 years and was one of maybe 3 friends I have left in total, suddenly stopped even reading my messages. Was already lonely, but him being gone really amplifies it. Hope things look up for you soon. Same here, but at the same time I don't want to be around people. Doubly annoying, because I feel like I need to spend both more and less time with people. Hey, I'm lonely too, but the less I think about that the less it matters. I moved to another state for a job opportunity and because of that I broke up with my GF. Can't see my friends because of distance and barely talk with people in my office. Still at the start the tuft of loneliness was haunting me. It still does from time to time, but I decided to see this as a self-improving period, where my future, my body and my mind matters the most. So because of my loneliness I can focus and be productive on my work. I can make exercise 4 times a week. I can go to a German course. I can read a lot of books etc etc. Just grab this opportunity to find yourself and make the best out of it, for when you know people or find someone special, you will be already in peace with yourself, which is important for any relationship. Can't seem to stay disciplined enough to keep doing anything. Edit. I swear we're all the same person because you all relate to me so much. I'm still reading and replying to all of your comments, but I want to thank all of you, truly, for all of your kind words, encouragement, and advice. For those of you who are like me, I want to give the encouragement back to you and tell you to keep going and trying. Life is all about progression. I can relate to this. Sometimes I will get on a roll with things and then just sort of crash or get distracted. Then I am hard on myself and it takes a while to get started again. I'll do that too. I'll be great for 2 weeks with work and life and then out of nowhere I'll be sad and things don't really play out too well at all. It just seems like that is normal human behavior though. Can't always be happy, I think. Yeah, I'm starting to realize my default state is down. I'm just not a happy person. And I need to stop expecting myself, or let anyone else tell me to be happy. Maybe this way I won't get so caught up in feeling happy that I'm not as let down when those brief moments end. Sometimes if you ever look at a little bumblebee or an ant, and you let that thing be, without bothering it, ask yourself, why can't I let myself be? Bumblebees need to be pet gently, don't forget that. IDK if this will be of any comfort, but I used to think I was the same way. As soon as I moved out of my parents' house and into a really supportive roommate situation, I became so much happier I was shocked. I think it was a combination of having a really warm environment, socially, than I'd ever been used to, and also since I was in school having clear goals to work toward really helped. I didn't even realize how sad and isolated I felt all the time. Edit. Sorry, my point was, I too thought my default state was down, but after a few life changes I realized it was a product of my permanent circumstances. Maybe you are the same. This is me, too. My phone has really ruined my attention span. I can't write or draw or read or do almost anything that I used to love for more than small spurts at a time. I feel restless and super boring without any actual hobbies besides playing Reddit on my phone. Buy a time lock safe. They're not overly expensive and can help break you of a dependence. At one point I used a time lock app called Self-Control on my computer. It really helped, especially when I was stressed out and needed to get work done. I hate not having self-control, but I hate being controlled even more. Any hacks for that? I'm not optimistic, lol. I'm a college student, but I can't seem to get up in the morning anymore because I've lost all self-control and I've always had a problem with oversleeping. It doesn't help that I'm a physics major, so my classes aren't easy, forces me to spend an unhealthy amount of time studying to compensate for lost class time. This in turn makes me more tired, and waking up becomes harder, and the cycle continues. I've been here. I am here. Something that helped for me is giving myself credit for things that did go right, even if I wasn't perfect in achieving them all the time. Have you gotten a good grade on a test you didn't study much for? Have you been good about handing assignments in on time? Have you been maintaining healthy relationships? Because in life, you don't always get to be the person you want to be, so you have to work with the person that you are. I'm in grad school and I had such a hard time making it to class. This has certainly kept me from maintaining a high GPA, which has always been one of my goals. But in doing only what I can do, my grades are decent, and the GPA gap isn't really going to make much of a difference in the long run. My GPA was a similar story in undergrad, but I did well enough on tests that it ultimately didn't end up mattering as I got a really nice scholarship for grad school, but I can't tell you all the time I wasted worrying about it in undergrad. Same. The number of times I say to myself I've really got to X about the same things over and over is disheartening. Enjoying the video? Leave a comment below. 3. Don't even get sad anymore, just always feel empty. Edit. I dropped this comment before going to sleep and the level of support from all of you strangers is beautiful. I love you all. My day will be a little better today. I feel you. You got to change things up somehow. Are you familiar with the website Meetup? No, I am not. Enlighten me. It's a site designed around meeting new people, not dating or partners. It's not one of those apps, but rather making friends based on similar interests. Getting out and socializing and meeting good people that also have the same intentions can do wonders for mental health. Well, of course experiences will vary wildly from city to city and activity to activity, but I'm sorry that happened to you. I've personally never tried Meetup. I was about to but decided not to. Made new friends my own way even if it took longer. For me it was the fact that my area doesn't have any groups outside of 40+ wine nights or some crap, and it cost money now to open a group yourself, so the site never really did work for me. One tip: try to find groups that basically require everyone to talk with everyone else, the general public. For example, in college I had no friends at first, and wound up joining a group that was all about doing random acts of kindness for strangers. Like, you took 30-minute shifts around campus once or twice a week, just being nice to strangers. With a group from this club, I figured, anyone who would want to join such a club is 1. Probably a nice person who looks outside of themselves and cares about how others feel, and 2. Has to be pretty outgoing, or else they would feel too awkward being randomly nice to strangers. Turns out I was right, and I still have friends from that group, all these years later. Maybe try to find a group where there's a similar dynamic, like building homes for Habitat for Humanity, or something. Everybody has to pitch in and work as a team. You're all working on a project together and forced to communicate. It's for a good cause, etc. I'm the opposite. I felt nothing and now I want to feel, and I'm sad because of it. Be careful what you wish for. My grandma died 2 days ago. I'm so sorry for your loss. Grandmas are amazing. I'm sure she loved you very much and knew how much you loved her. Things will never be the same without her, but she'll always be in your heart. I'm so sorry. Beating heart. The miserable existence I've willingly allowed to become my life future. Now I drive both to and from work in the dark. No sunlight for me. Have you ever tried one of those mood lamps? I have one, and if you close your eyes and sit in front of it, you can get a pretty good boost. Tanning also seems to have this effect on me. Does that actually help? I've been thinking of getting one for my desk. If it emits UVB then yes, otherwise I think it may be a placebo effect, which by all accounts is still good. It's strange though, my sister got one of those lamps and the light kind of depressed me. It seemed more like I was at a lab than a comfortable nook with mood lighting. Hello darkness, my old friend. It's getting dark at 5 PM. I can't seem to be able to talk to anyone about anything. Been ghosted so hard even Pac-Man wouldn't eat me. You're funny. Anyone who would let that go is a dumbass. Thanks, and you'd be surprised how small my social circle got over the years. I think sometimes life has a funny way of weeding out the people who are not good for our growth. And if we're open to it, the right people tend to come our way. Don't take it personally. I'm sure there are plenty of good reasons to be friends with you, and I'm willing to bet the things you have to say are worth being heard. Thank you all for the kind words and hope the rest of 2019 is good to you. LMAO. Same. I can't get people to smile as often no more. Only serious conversations. Man, I have a very hard time making people smile. I am really good at being serious and having those convos, but small talk has become a thing of the past for me. Edit. Word. Don't forget to leave your comment. Been ghosted so hard even Pac-Man wouldn't eat me. Our brand new sentence. I'm bipolar and currently going through a depressive episode. On top of that I am having relationship problems. I'm sticking to my medicine schedule and trying to stay as positive as possible though. Medicine is key. Bipolar 1 here, 4 years stable on Latuda. Take care of yourself. Be kind and loving to yourself. I need $2,000 of dental work done, including removing infected teeth that I can't afford. Even with dental insurance, I can't afford the copays and it makes me want to break down and cry. Look into dental schools in your area, they may do the work for free. Also, many areas have programs that will take care of dental work for low-income individuals. Let me know if you need help finding resources. Dental student here. I don't know of any dental schools that do the work for free, but it's usually around 1/3 of the cost or less. I feel your pain. Financial insecurity and the hopelessness that comes along with that is something that I can really relate to. Hoping some miracles come your way sooner than later. I think sometimes that is all we can hope for. American healthcare sucks. We pay for dental work here too, but at least if you are on benefits or generally poor you will get basic care, rotten teeth pulled etc. I can't imagine not getting treated if I was ill because I couldn't afford it. This system is literally killing people here. A friend of a friend went to the hospital for severe stomach pain and was told he needed to be admitted for further testing. He couldn't afford anything they were talking about, so he decided to take his chances and left AMA. He had acute necrotizing pancreatitis and he died. At 29 years old, his GF found him dead in his apartment. I sacrificed a lot of self-respect for a guy who doesn't give a shit about me, and even knowing that, I still can't bring myself to walk away from him. What do you think it is that keeps you on his trail? She has no legs. I love him. I don't actually need him to feel the same way. It's enough I love him because then I know I can. That's just a lie we tell ourselves because we're afraid and we're addicted. Love is absolutely an addiction. All you are doing is making sure neither of you can be happy. You can't be happy with someone you don't love, and you can't be happy with someone that doesn't love you, and you deserve to be happy, no matter who you are and no matter what you think about yourself. I love him. I don't actually need him to feel the same way. This really hit me hard and made me feel so sad. You 100% deserve to be loved, and one day you will. I promise you. But not in this relationship. I don't think it even can be called a relationship if it's one-sided. I believe in you. I'm the guy who really didn't love the girl. So from the opposite perspective, I'm kinda glad she walked away. I'm not really ready and I know it. I'm proud of her because she chose not to waste her time chasing someone with no intention of reciprocating. Ugh. Just broke up with my version of you. It was the right call for sure, but sucks to feel like I'm not worth him being ready. For me she really was worth the time, and maybe if I had put a little more effort I might have been able to keep her. The problem isn't you, it was that I was not ready emotionally, financially, and everything else. I hate to say it, but if we stayed together, it would have been horrible because from a realistic standpoint I had nothing to offer her. So I'll just tell you that you really aren't at fault here, and in some ways, neither is he, but it just happened that you two came together at the wrong time. I'm so sorry. Happened to me with a girl last month. One day she called me and we had a nice talk, and in the end I just told her that I like her but need to cut contact. I blocked her and it was the best decision which I made this year. I am meeting new people and I no longer have this desperate feeling about her but see her in a more distant and sober life. Like someone said in a rap song, act like it's gum in your hair, cut it out. A fact that my friends don't actually need me. I have 2 friends and they're always chill with one another, but I'm sort of the third wheel. It's sad that I lose my friends just so easily. This may not apply to your situation, but it has been hard for me to stay connected with my friends, and good advice I got was that I need to start taking initiative. I need to plan events, trips, concerts, game nights, etc., and invite my friends, rather than depending on them to invite me to their thing. I know it's easier said than done, but you gotta start somehow. The point is that I was the person who invited them all the time, but one moment I sat down and realized that I really tired of it. I wanted them to give me attention, like joining to the clubs, parties or something, but they don't give a shit about me when I'm not the person who invites. As I find out, I'm a woman in my late 20s. I used to have long thick dark hair that was the envy of everyone, could have done some shampoo commercials. Now I'm losing my hair. In the past year I lost more than half of the hair on my head and it's getting thinner and thinner every day. I think it's genetic and probably irreversible. Thinking about going through the rest of my life being bald just makes me depressed as fuck. I can't help thinking how I'm cursed with the worst genes from both sides of the family. I have a bunch of other issues I have made my peace with, but my hair was what I liked most about myself physically. It was my crowning glory, and now well, I just don't if I'm interested to carry on living, cause I know my life just won't be the same. Get a full thyroid panel. Your doc may only do the thyroid light blood work but insist on the full one. My Hashimoto's didn't show on a regular screening, but it was found too late. I lost a lot of hair before going on thyroid meds. Same. Gotta get the full thyroid panel. My hair grew back once I started the meds, Naterthroid I think they're called. Don't forget to leave your comment. Reddit knows the most obscure shit. Imagine living 15 years ago and having a weird problem. I'm really sorry to hear that. A lot of importance is placed on women's hair in our culture, and I can imagine how hard this must be. Have you heard of alopecia? It may be due to that, which I believe is triggered by stress or autoimmune response and therefore comes in waves versus being permanent. However, hair loss can actually be a sign of a lot of other conditions too. I really suggest going to a doctor to make sure it's not a sign of something more serious, and see if there's anything you can do to reverse it. There are a lot of prescriptions and products that can help with hair loss. As for how you're feeling about it, I would recommend regular therapy of course, but you can also try to have some fun wearing different wigs in the meantime. You can do fun colors, like bright purple, to mix up your style, or something more natural that's closer to your original color. It might help you feel more confident while you figure out the other stuff. There's a girl a year younger than me dead set on doing everything in her power to turn everyone against me. I've done nothing to her, but her crush liked me instead of her and I rejected him. Now all she does is go around telling people I'm a cold-hearted, conniving, evil little bitch. She literally hates me with her whole being and I have no idea why. High school, am I right? She's insecure and only feels powerful when she is attempting to bring you down. Let her play her little game and say what she says, and before you know it she'll be onto her next target, until one day she realizes it was her that needed to change. People like that don't change until it's them that's the target. You gotta be strong and show her that her immature acts don't affect you. Turn it into a meme. With a powerful attitude you CNA turn the people around you to realize what a bitch she is. Turn it into a meme. That's how the allies won. High school, am I right? The fun part is this stuff doesn't stop after high school. In fact it gets worse. People are shit. I think the difference is, when you're older you have more options for getting away from those types of people. You're right, there are always shit people, but in high school you can't escape them. Most kids don't have the option to transfer schools. As an adult you can change jobs, change neighborhoods, change circle of friends, etc. It may not be easy but it's possible. I just turned 30, and I'm not remotely anywhere near where I thought I'd be in life. I'm actually pretty okay with my current situation on a day-to-day basis. It could be better, but it could also be much worse. It's just hard growing older and realizing you're not special and are going to be an average person with an average life, like most people. Despite years of low self-esteem, I guess I kind of always did believe I was going to be one of the special ones with some great, fascinating life. I mean, tag in elementary school kind of set the bar that I was going to be talented and gifted, didn't it? Turns out I'm really not either as an adult. Job hunting. When did it become common to have an in-person interview and then never hear from them again? 2 years ago the girl I thought I was going to marry ended up with the guy you don't have to worry about what could have been, what happened, and twisted versions of both constantly haunt me in my nightmares, so I don't sleep well anymore either. I'm desperately looking for an escape from reality as these memories come crashing over me at the drop of a hat. I'm currently about 7 hours into this reality. 4 years together. Talks of marriage. Now this. I've never been kissed, and I'm 21, and I know it's not a big deal, but it just feels like I'm not desirable and I don't know what to do about it. I'm 23, never been kissed or been in a relationship. It's not the end of the world. It's not, but it takes a toll on you when the supposedly happiest side of life is something you only ever wished for, while it seems just completely normal and mundane for everyone else. It seems like the happiest side of life from your perspective right now. I've been exactly where you are. I dreamed about having a GF and it's all I wanted. I thought it was the one path to true happiness. But it's not. Once the fleeting infatuation wears off, being in a relationship is basically the same as being single. If you want the happiest side of life, you need to love yourself. And don't try to love yourself in the hopes that it will make you more attractive so you'll get a partner. Try to shift your mental focus to loving yourself. Take that same mental energy you feel you're reserving for that partner you want, and give it to yourself. Is it the same? I can't compare myself, but from looking at others, I don't think it is. Right now I have nobody to hug, nobody to ask me how my day was, nobody to talk to about my dreams, fears and hopes, and nobody to share happy moments with. That's a place someone else, close and dear, needs to fill. I can't do it by myself. 21 is not that bad at all. A good friend of mine was lamenting that he was kissless, virgin and felt so alone when he was 21. 6 months later he meet a cute girl at a demonstration for refugee rights and they are together and happy for 2 years now. Just take care of yourself. Just a basic form of fitness, a good cologne, a clean bath hair, no fancy stuff required. After that just be a pleasant person and try to talk to different people, boys and girls. Try to go to somewhere where you find like-minded people, learn a new language, go to a sports club, a D&D group, your local debate club. Worth remembering that any kind of relationship is basically a result of loads of random chances going the right way, and it's entirely possible that you'll just be unlucky for a bit. Basically now is not a good indicator of the future, but I know that's not necessarily very comforting in the moment. Almost 26 and never been kissed. Plenty of family, friends and colleagues who tell me I'm pretty and kind and wonder why I never had a partner. Like you tell me, IDK, I guess I scare them away with being too kind. Tired of this. I want to die. Pretty much making me feel depressed. More depressed than normal. Everywhere fucking hurts. And I can't sleep. Did something happen recently? Or is it just a general feeling of despair and or hopelessness? Just a bad day. There is always tomorrow. I hope it eases up for you soon and things feel brighter. Red heart. Enjoying the video, leave a comment below. 3. Knowing that I get judged solely by my psoriasis and not, you know, as the person I actually am. Missing my sister who passed away and missing living on my parents' street like I did for years. I'm 34 but attached and saw that up for rent I used to live and wishing my husband and I could move there. Thanks for asking as this is keeping me up but it feels good to vent here. that my sister's new boyfriend is an abuser. She left her children's father because he was super abusive and controlling. She found a new man. I met him and we all went out a few times. He came off very nice, respectful, traditional and stable. I'm usually quick to pick up any bad vibes from people, but from him I didn't get much. She did make a comment that he's dated a lot, which I could only assume he's gone through a lot of women. She texted me earlier today that he put hands on her last night. I'm depressed because I want the best for her and I guess I thought he seemed like a good dude. Hey, I'm a DA specialist. Don't feel bad about not picking up on it. Abusers are very charming people. They're renowned for getting professionals on side. Judging by the "he dated a lot" comment, he has done this many times, so his confidence on getting the power and control would have got bigger each time. In reality, would your sister have listened? I told my best friend I could see her ex was abusive. She dismissed me. She has since said she should have listened and appreciated that I didn't keep on, just kept an eye on the situation and ensured her and her children's safety, mentally. People don't want to believe they're in that situation. Society tells us only stupid people fall for it. That's far from the truth. I hope your sister is okay and also hope you are okay. Please feel free to DM me if you need any advice. I literally walked away from a much needed job. Was in a bicycle accident 2 weeks ago where I knocked myself out and permanently scarred my face. Left me with bruises everywhere and a repair bill which led me to getting insured on my girlfriend's car, which cost me more money, so I didn't have to cycle 10 miles to and from work every day, which resulted in being in a car accident only 2 days into the insurance. Not my fault, just wrong place wrong time deal. Writing off the car and causing lots of stress and anxiety, as well as probably having to help pay for a new car for her. My radiator has broken off the wall and is another expense that I am going to have to deal with, as well as still having to redecorate DIY a lot of the rest of the place, plus PC is playing up and I can't afford to replace it as I currently don't have a lot of money in my savings anymore because of recent events, plus Christmas and birthdays coming up. I just feel like the world is out to get me. I have a couple of friends and I feel like I'll let down far too often. I haven't seen my family in over a year. Work is stressing me out and I just don't feel as happy as I could be. Seems so insignificant when I write it down, but it's just been bothering me. Not insignificant. It's relatable, and there is hope even though you may not see it now. Sometimes the best we can do is just focus on the minor things we can change in 24 hours, and then get up the next day and do the same. Eventually, it adds up. Progress, not perfection. Fuck man. Reading these comments, something within me finally accepts I'm not the only one. So much to relate to. I'm nearly crying while in public. Good luck everyone on their own problematic roads, and a huge shout out to OP for the support and answers on every comment. You people are good people. My daughter was born on the 2nd of this month. We learned she needs open heart surgery to repair a hole in her heart. That my 7-year-old son is not biologically mine. My ex cheated and I did not know. From the words of Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy, he may be your father, boy, but he sure in hell ain't your daddy. If you raise him, feed him, there for him when he needs your help, you are the real father. Please go and see a doctor, psychiatrist, therapist, or all of the above. Do you have family you can stay with? You may even need inpatient treatment. Don't let this go on. You can come back from this place, but do something before you can't do anything. Your husband is a douche. You have done nothing wrong. Seek help for yourself and let him go live whatever life he chooses. He will never be there for you. What if you got cancer or something? Does he not realize what marriage means? Clearly not. Maybe even go to the emergency room today and tell them you need a mental health assessment. Please act now. Pretty soon I'm gonna find out if my mum saved me by running away with me as a baby or just straight up kidnapped me. I don't even know which is worse, but I'm in for a rough ride ahead. I'm at uni, stressed about exams, working 30 hours a week, exhausted all the time. I am in a relationship IDK if I'm ready for, and I am never alone. Nothing I ever do is good enough. I'm sleeping over at someone's house and they are describing to me how many chicks they are pulling, and it's making me realize how lonely I am. I was going to say that I feel really alone and burdensome. I'm reading all of this and thinking that maybe I'm not really alone. I could post a cute picture of a Halloween decoration or Simpson something and 50 strangers would support it. I'm fixated on being single again and feeling like a failure because at 32 I am living alone again, looking for love again and struggling again. I am still sad but I'm not alone. For all of you feeling alone, you're not. You're here, and as long as you're here to share, there are people here including myself who are with you. I'm less sad now. Thank you for sharing all of this. Some mental and physical problems embody that every single day I pass by a classroom where a kid died and 8 people were hurt, and I just have to keep moving on with my life and try to not think about it at all. I couldn't imagine. This is something I wish would never happen. Sending good vibes. Everything. Existing. I keep getting minor illnesses, so I'm really behind with my uni workload plus lots of missed lectures to catch up on. I need to get out of bed and get started this morning, but I just don't want to spend the day studying. I'm a pathetic piece of shit loser. It feels like a majority of humans are selfish and capable of evil. Also, all of my sports teams suck and make me even more miserable. Well, yesterday was my B-day, and though I generally don't enjoy them, I was kinda excited to spend a fantastic weekend cuddling and watching movies with my new girlfriend after having gone through a rough breakup divorce recently. Instead, she dumped me last night because I was feeling a bit sad and she couldn't handle it. So probably that. Well, I really have been in sort of a mood myself, and was wondering if anybody could relate, but also I've been taught that one of the best ways to get out of a rough time is to help somebody else. I have zero interest in going to university, but we still live in a society where university is the most prestigious thing you can do, and if you don't have a degree on your resume, you're basically useless, so I have to go next year. But I just don't fucking want a man. Why can't I just become rich and famous overnight so I don't have to worry about that? Sigh. Edit. I appreciate all the advice, guys. And just for your information, I've looked into trades before and that line of work does not interest me at all. I know many people who have gone to college and don't use their degree, or didn't go to college and are very successful. It's all a process, whether you go to college or not. The point is to try the best you can in any direction that feels like a good option. No matter what happens, you will learn more about yourself and where you want to be in life, and if you're lucky enough, you'll find your true purpose and realize that every choice you've made led up to it. Have faith. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and hit the bell for more videos. Comment your views.